Hello there folks, I'm not Dan Brown, but this is sort of interesting. Today Dan's asked me to do a quick tour of Abel's Ark to share my thoughts on what I'd want before I can move on board, and hopefully it might be an insight to anybody else that's thinking of life afloat. So in the living room, now that it's empty, it's surprisingly spacious. So I think what we would like is to custom build a sofa, because even though I could fit a normal off the shelf sofa in here, we just couldn't get them through the narrow doorways. So I would like to have an L-shaped sofa fitted in, and then also by custom building it we can make storage underneath, because as I said earlier, storage is everything on these boats. But unlike Dan, I really would like to have a telly, and that would have to go on this wall on top of a very slim but another storage unit, and I think the paint would be all good to go. So here in the bathroom, I personally think this is the best use of all the space. It's really efficient. Nice size shower. The only thing is, me and Dan do differ on this. He isn't brave enough to use the pump out toilet. I would be. He wants to stick with the cassette toilet, and I think if we got rid, it would give me a lot more floor space. But the cupboards underneath, absolutely fine. They're nice big size, nice big top. And the bonus is, I actually fit in the shower. And he's still got the lovely shower curtain. So the bedroom is the easiest place, I think, to sort, because you've probably seen in Dan's videos in the past that he would really have liked to have portholes instead of these big windows. So the first thing would be block up that window there, just because of the downdraft, not straight onto the bed. Then I would put, instead of the double mattress, I'd want a 3/4, so that we don't have the overhang, and some nice drawers under the bed, because we all know storage is key. Other than that, there's not a lot of floor space to do much with anyway. Quick lick of paint, jobs are good. So here in the kitchen, they've made
hang on, you've got coal or something on your face.
What? Oh my god.
Yes.
Can't take me anywhere.
Okay, right. We'll take that off.
So here in the kitchen, they've really used the space well. So if you think this boat is 30 foot of indoor living, you can't expect to have the big kitchen, but we do have what we need. We've got the miniature oven and the miniature fridge, and not as many cupboards as I'd like. So the idea to free up the cupboards for food is to use this wall and the worktops for some sort of storage, whether that's plate racks or I'm not sure what really. So any comments, any ideas down below, please. As for the garden, I can't complain. I'm a bit nervous doing this voiceover, so I have made a few notes, so bear with me if I sound a bit wooden or if you hear Charlie in the background, because I can't go anywhere without him under my feet. And remember, this is the start of my YouTube career. Some of you may know that for the last year or so, Dan's had his living room more like an office space, and he'll even admit himself that it was more homely when he first moved in and had the world's smallest sofa, so maybe the computer chairs aren't that bad after all. Internally, I'd like to make it a more homely boat, and I've already got curtains and rugs at home that would make it feel a lot cosier. To move on board Abel's Ark, I'm going to have to sell and donate a lot of my furniture and clutter from a lifetime of living on dry land. That, to me, is probably going to be the hardest part of the process. Even with the custom furniture that we'd have had made, it still won't be enough for me to put my 3-bedroomed house in. Not having a washing machine, I think, is going to be the hardest thing for me to adjust to. It's been many, many years since I've been to a laundrette, and I'm definitely not letting Dan wash my knickers in the sink and then hang them off the stern. I'd also prefer the front and back covers to be up, and they do take up all the storage under the bed. They'd be a great addition, especially for Charlie, to be outside in the fresh air, in the shade, because he's used to being out in the garden. Dan's looked into the power situation, and he's happy that with a few more leisure batteries in the engine bay, it should help with our increased consumption of the electricity. So today his solar panels and battery pack arrived, so we're going to test it tonight with my CPAP machine and make sure it's compatible, and if I don't wake up in the morning, we know it wasn't. And if I do wake up, we know that the CPAP machine is compatible, and I can spend my first night on Abel's Ark down the deep dark towpaths of Shropshire. I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm feeling more and more positive that it's likely I will move on board. Dan does keep telling me to be realistic and think about all the negatives as well as the benefits, but after the last week of amazing spring weather, it couldn't have been a better showcase for me. Thanks very much for watching, and I hope I haven't been too cringy. Please be kind in the comments, as this is my first go. I'm going to hand you over to Dan now because he needs to plug quite a few things if he's going to be buying another boat. Oh, and by the way, I didn't actually say my name is Sam. See ya!
Hello there folks, Dan here, and I'd firstly like to say a huge thank you to Sam for stepping well outside of her comfort zone and not only doing bits to camera, but also surprisingly to me, the more nerve-wracking element was actually doing that voiceover that you've just listened to. So thank you so much, Sam. I can't believe how well you took to it straight away. So hopefully we'll be seeing and hearing more from Sam, and you've enjoyed what you've seen on her maiden voyage onto YouTube here. So yeah, just a couple of things I'd like to throw in here. So the idea of buying another boat would only be to buy the smaller second boat that would just have enough room on it to be my bedroom and office space, separate from the main boat that we've just been looking around. And the idea behind that really is just because of my absolutely terrible sleeping patterns, or however, I just can't sleep if there's a slight noise around. So obviously with that, coupled with Sam's CPAP machine and Charlie's unbelievably loud snoring, it doesn't make for a good mixture. And as much as it may sound funny that I want an entire separate boat just to sleep in away from the dog snoring, well, let me just play 4 seconds of Charlie's snoring for you. However loud you think that is, I promise you it's probably louder in real life. So he certainly disrupted my sleep patterns over recent times, I'll say that much. But in all honesty, I think that the second boat is a perfectly workable solution and a perfectly functional, sensible idea. Now obviously there's going to be a lot of increased costs, and there's certainly some ludicrously priced boats that I'm seeing at the moment, so I have to see how things like that develop in the market. And really, I think the idea of being able to go and have a completely quiet, separate place to sleep, and also do some work at my desk and build my models and leave them out strewn around the place without worrying that the dog or maybe a cat or two is going to end up eating them or something. It's certainly it just seems like a sensible idea to me, given the various options available and the market conditions as it stands. So yeah, I'm relatively positive at the minute, so we'll see how things develop. I'd like to just say a quick few plugs here, so please do consider checking out my short books about boat life. You'll find those for the Kindle and also as a paperback collection in the links below. I'd also like to shout out and thank my channel members at the moment, so that's Catherine S, Darren C and Vic S. So I know I haven't posted much on this channel until recently on a regular basis, so thank you so much for those of you who've stayed as supporters of the channel. And as some of you know, I don't put anything behind the paywall, so it's purely just there to help me out and to support this channel. So thank you so much for everything. Until the next time, my friends, have a fantastic day, keep it interesting, keep it boat worthy, and of course, my friends, farewell.